So in Cyprus, as we all know, I do dog rescue, right? I'll tell you this little story. It is quite funny. Obviously you shouldn't laugh if you anyway, I'm telling it. It's happening. So there was a dog in Cyprus that was chained up at the shelter simply because it couldn't go with loads of other dogs, and it was a Rottweiler, right, called Annie. Do you remember Annie? So Nicole was really, really upset. I think you must have been... No, I think you were 7 or 8 at that point. You were little. And she came crying to me and she was like, Mum, can we help this dog? And at that point, we had kennels in Cyprus. We had a shelter ourselves, right? I love your live stories. We had kennels in Cyprus that we used. So we would go to pounds and stuff and take some of the dogs and then rehome them from our, centre. Anyway, Nicole was, devastated about this dog. And she was like, she's got all a twisted tail and it's, all broken and we need to help her, right? So, anyway. It's all what, darling? Is she outside on a chain or is she inside? On a chain. Right, listen. This is why we do what we do, don't we? Okay, so we can help them all.
You can see your tail twisted. You can see your bones. And she just
right. Shall we see tomorrow if we can find her somewhere to fit up at Vatty?
Yeah.
And take her up to Vatty?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, this one is go.
Okay. Alright, we'll go and see you in a little while and we'll take some photos and you can show me her.
Twisted. And he's really upset. He's sat there today. I wanted to take her.
Alright, we'll sort her out, okay? Okay, you can go and tell her in a minute and take some photos and tell her we promise we're going to help her, okay? Yeah?
You take her tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see if we can move a few dogs around in pens up at Vatty and we'll see if we can fit her in. Yeah. We'll see if we can fit her in.
I don't know her name yet.
Okay, well you can name her. Alright.
The name Annie.
You want to name her Annie? Okay. Well, we ended up taking Annie. She's the most beautiful dog ever. Love this fucking dog. She's beautiful, beautiful Rottie. And I fostered her at home. We ended up having her at my house. We fostered her. We rehomed her. Now, I never had a cat at this point. And I said to the people when we rehomed her, right? I really hope they're not on here because I'm going to laugh and they're not going to find it funny. So we rehomed her. And someone did their home check. It wasn't me. I didn't have time to do it. So we have teams of people and we group up with other charities in the UK, and so we all work together. So if someone in one area can do a home check for someone, then they go and do it, and if I'm in another area and I can do it for another charity, then I'll do their home check. Do you get what I mean? So we all I already know I'm gonna laugh. So we all do each other's home checks. Anyway, they said they've got chickens, and I was like, well, that's fine, but are the chickens fenced away and in a solid fence? And they were like, yeah, they've got a garden here that would be for Annie and the children, and then there's another set of fencing and the chicken pen, and they're all penned in. And I was like, well, that's fine, as long as they know she would eat them. I'm not gonna lie, they need to know 100% she would eat them, and if a cat gets in the garden, she'd eat that too. That's gonna happen. And they were like, yeah, no, they're fully aware, it's not a problem, blah blah blah. Anyway, so they had her about 4 days, I think, probably 4 or 5 days. I didn't even get a phone call. I get back from the school run, it is 9:05, and I'm at that point where we lived, I would walk my children to school, right? So I come back from school and I'm like, who the fuck's that stood outside my house? And then I see Annie and I'm like, what? So I get to the door and he hands me the lead and I'm like, what's happened? And he's crying, he's upset, and I'm like, what's going on? He was like, we can't keep her, the family are distraught, we've just seen our chickens massacred. And I was like, eh? What? They were like, he was like, so she got through the fence and then she got into the chickens and she's literally massacred the chickens, and the children hadn't gone to school, and the children watched, I mean, I shouldn't laugh, the children watched their pet chickens getting slaughtered by Annie, right? And I was like, oh. And now they're all terrified of her. And I was like, well, she's hardly going to eat them. She eats chickens. She doesn't eat children. That probably wasn't the right diplomatic thing to say at that point. But it's what came out of my mouth. And I was like, okay, I wasn't very good. And I'm not professional, right? I am just me. I can't change me. And I was like, so do you not want to keep her then? And they were like, well, no, she killed my chickens. And I was like, yeah, but they're dead now. Like, she's not going to eat them again, is she? Like, it was, I was being deadly serious too. It's not like she's going to eat them again. Like, she can't do any more damage now. The damage is done. They're gone. Anyway, I was like, he just looked at me like I was like a horrible cunt, which I probably was. But I was like, I don't understand. Like, she's eaten them. Like, she can't eat them again. And they were like, my children, he was like, my children are terrified. I was like, what of? She eats chickens, not children. Like, what do you want me to do? He was like, well, we can't keep her. And I was like, oh, well, I'll take her back then. Anyway, so I went inside with her, took her home. Freddie was so excited. He wasn't at school at this point. Freddie was so excited this dog was back. He loved it, right? I've got photos of the pair of them. They used to watch out the window. I've got brilliant photo of both of them looking out the window together. Anyway, so Freddie goes, she'd been with us for about half an hour. This is the bit of the story that is the best bit of the story. So she'd been home with us about half an hour, and I'm messaging the team saying, guys, we need to put Annie up for adoption. She cannot be rehomed with anybody that's got, like, chickens. We need to make sure people know that she will massacre the chickens, right? Freddie goes, Mum, Annie has something. And I was like, what? What's she got? Anyway, I went over to her. She had bits of feather still sticking out of her mouth. She literally had chicken feathers sticking out of her teeth. And I had to pull out. I had to pull out chicken out of her teeth. And I was like, I don't need to feed her today. I was like, she's on a raw dog fire food diet. And I know I'm a vegetarian, right? But it was the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing. She had like these little feathers sticking out of her teeth. Like they were literally stuck in her teeth. And Freddie was like, what's that? And I was like, it's just a feather, mate, don't worry. But I genuinely don't know why they didn't keep her, because she'd already like eaten them. So yeah, we rehomed Annie to a lovely home without chickens. I fucking love that Rottweiler. She's brilliant. Oh my days. So that was my story.
We wanted chickens.
I love chickens. I'd love to have chickens again. We had chickens when I was a kid.
Hold on, right. So you were like, I'm sorry. They're dead now, so it's alright. But
Yeah.
what if Maggie ate our chickens?
Well, we wouldn't get any more until Maggie dead.
See?
What? You can't. What's the point? You can't. I'm not being like. Oh, we had someone before that let their guinea pig out with the dog, right? And it ate the guinea pig, right? And they were like, well, you need to take her. She kills animals. No, she ate your fucking guinea pig because you got it out. Are you retarded? Like, you've got a pointer for fuck's sake. They're fucking hunting dogs and you got your guinea pig out. The mind boggles with some of the people that I deal with. My mind boggles. And then they're like, well, we're petrified of her because she ate a guinea pig. She's not going to eat you, is she? Jesus Christ. Yes, my dogs aren't allowed near my guinea pigs. Exactly. Some dogs, not a problem. Some dogs, not a fucking problem.
Sit with the rats and play with the rats.
It's just the same with cats, isn't it? Yeah, some dogs, like yesterday, you all saw in my live, that cat was in the garden. If that had fell off the fence, my dog would have ate that. Would have fucking ate it. I shit you not, she would have ate it. Live on TikTok, it would have been ate. That's their instincts, right? Nicole's dog is an absolute dream with Nicole's rats. Has always been an absolute legend with her rats. Hasn't she? She's always been fantastic. The kitten, if you're in the same room, she's a legend. Nicole sleeps with the kitten on her bed and Piglet on her bed, right? not a problem. Now, take this to where you're not in the room and the cat tries to go through the room with Piglet and she doesn't think you're there. She's a cunt. She'd eat the cat. Right? She'd eat the cat. And that cat lives with us.
But the thing is, though, when Gizmo sees her, she's like...
Yeah, so now Gizmo, when we're in the room, Gizmo takes the... That's the kitten. Gizmo takes the opportunity to bat her in the arse as she walks past, as if to say, fuck you, dog. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. My animals have got attitude.
They're so cute though sometimes. Like when they think you're not watching, I've caught them both. Like Gizmo started grooming Piglet and Piglet's just like looking at
Honestly.
her.
What's the other little dog called? Bentley. He's a dickhead. He's an absolute spoon. He
so
thinks he's fucking 10 men in the house. When he's with the other dogs, he thinks he's fucking 10 men. Have you seen that picture, that meme, where there's like that chihuahua smoking, got a cigarette in its mouth and it's in army gear? That's what Bentley thinks he is. When he was in, he eats in the utility room, right, on his own, because all my dogs have to be separated to eat, right, because they're stupid cunts. So Bentley eats out there and the cat, right, goes through the cat flap into that room to terrorise him. And he's petrified. He's literally petrified. And he won't eat until I go in and take the cat out of there, right? And I look at her and she looks at me and say, what? And what? But when he's in here with all the other ones, he's like, yeah, fuck you, cat. Yeah. And he'd have her because he's with the others. Honestly. Did you say Bentley? Yeah, Bentley. What's wrong with Bentley? I like that name. Don't come for me. But honestly, I could tell you hundreds of stories about dogs like that. But yeah, we've had one eaten by a guinea pig eaten by a dog, and they wanted to give it back. And I was like, but just don't buy another guinea pig. Or, better still, don't get your guinea pig out in front of the fucking pointer. You absolute spoon. Obviously, I didn't say it quite like that, but that was what I said to the team afterwards. Again, I probably shouldn't share that, but...